Second Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Be you not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
So it says, be not unequally yoked. And the main part is with unbelievers. And like Yahonathan was saying, not saying that we're not supposed to go out and try to preach the gospel to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. We're talking about people who don't refuse to walk, refuse to keep these commandments. We can't be equally yoked with these people. Keep going.
For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness?
So what fellowship do righteousness have with unrighteousness? It don't go together. Keep going.
And what communion has light with darkness?
Okay, so when the light comes, the dark must go, because you can't put dark and light together. They must be separate. It's like negative and a positive. Keep going.
And what concord hath the Messiah with Malak?
Okay, so what concord? You think that Christ gonna be best friends with Malak? Keep going.
Or what part hath he that believe with an infidel?
Man. All right, keep going. Hard.
And what agreement hath the temple of the Most High with idols?
Okay, what agreement do the temple of the Most High have with idols? Who is the temple of the Most High? Is he talking about a building? Is he talking about something that somebody can build with their hands? No. You are that temple, right? So if you're the temple of the Most High, what fellowship should you have with idols? Keep going.
For you are the temple of the living power. As the Most High said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people.
All right, keep going.
Wherefore, come out from among them, and be you separate.
Hey, wait. Read that again.
Wherefore, come from among them, and be you separate, saith the Most High.
Come out from among them, and be ye separate. He's drawing a line on the ground right now, family, with the unbelievers and the believers. And we cannot commune with unbelievers. We cannot fellowship with unbelievers. The Most High is drawing the line on the ground, and He's letting you know that we have to make a decision what side we on. Keep going.
And touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
So we must not touch no unclean thing. What do unbelievers do? They touch unclean things. We shall not touch unclean things. Keep going.
And I will be a father unto you, and you shall be my sons and daughters, says the Most High Almighty.
Okay, so now let's go into Exodus 20 and 12 real quick. Now this is how you love your brother or your sister as yourself.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 12. Honor your father and your mother, that the days may be long upon the land, which the Most High, your power, give you. Verse 13. You shall not murder. Verse 14. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's.
Okay, so now, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, and thou shalt not steal. A lot of people got that under the wraps, but these next two is what Israel was having huge problems with. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, right? So that means that we would envy something of this man's house or this woman's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, right? So we got brothers that's coveting, they want the neighbor's wife. They're not just giving them a compliment saying your wife looks good, they want your wife. That one. Not somebody looks like it, that one. Yours. Nor your maidservant, nor your manservant, nor your oxen. So all of these things, right? So now let's get into Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha. We're gonna go into some scriptures on how to find a friend and what is a friend, and are these any kind of friends that you have? So we're gonna go to Ecclesiastes chapter 6. We're gonna start at verse 1.
Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 6, and verse 1. Instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby you shall inherit an ill name, shame and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that hath a double tongue. Extol not yourself in the counsel of your own heart, that your soul be not torn to pieces as a bull straying alone. You shall eat up your leaves and lose your fruit, and leave yourself as a dry tree. A wicked soul shall destroy him that hath it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. Sweet language will multiply friends, and a fair-speaking tongue will increase kind greetings. But in peace with many, nevertheless, but one counselor of 1,000. If you wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
That's a real important verse right there, family. He said, when you get a friend, prove him or her first. Like, to call somebody a friend, that is something that must be earned.
That's right.
You don't just become a friend just because you look good or you gotta, like I just meet you. Oh yeah, this is my new friend. No, a friend is something that must be proven to be a friend. It's real. Like I have a circle of friends, right, that I grew up with since I was in junior high school and high school, and it was real hard for any new person to come into our little friendship thing. They never last. Because we always tested them to see were they really truly a friend. You know what I mean? And so that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to test our people that come up to us and see if they're worthy of that name being called a friend. And he said, be not hasty to credit him, right? So don't you know how when somebody comes and you trying to pump him up, so everybody be, will accept this dude or this girl as a friend, like, oh man, this cool, man. He do this, he do that. Don't be so quick to do that, because you don't really know the intention of this guy that's coming. You don't even know the whole outfit that this guy is coming with, or this woman is coming with, because they might have some craftiness behind them, and now you done lifted them up and put them on a pedestal, and now that gives them the avenue to enter into the friendship circle that you have to corrupt all your friends. Okay, so keep going.
For some man is a friend for his own occasion.
So some people have friends that just friends when they feel like being your friend. They're like, I ain't his friend today, man. Get out of here, dude. I ain't trying to deal with that person today. No. But then, oh yeah, man, he's my friend today. What's up, man? Like, is that a friend that'll turn on and off? You know what I'm saying? Whenever they feel like it? Or the friend is a friend that will be a friend every day? Keep going.
For some man is a friend for his own occasion and will not abide in the day of trouble.
Okay, so now when you're in trouble, where is that so-called friend at? When things going wrong, where is that so-called friend at? Is your friend going to run out on you when you need him? Where is that friend? I'm going to have to break this to you gently. That is not a friend. Keep going.
And there is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover your reproach.
Keep going.
Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of affliction.
So when we at the table, we chilling. You know what I'm saying? Everybody a friend. But as soon as I turn my back or something go wrong, you ain't my friend no more. Keep going.
But in your prosperity, he will be as yourself and will be bold over your servants. I just want to expound.
Read that again.
I was about to say, you gotta get that.
All right, go ahead.
If you be brought low, he will be against thee and
will. Go back to the left.
Okay. But in your prosperity, he will be as yourself, and will be bold over your servants.
Okay, so now he said, in your prosperity, I mean, you got money now. You got money in your pocket. You looking good. You on high. Everybody like, oh, man, he's doing good. So now, here come that friend. That friend is around you like, oh, yeah, this is my buddy right here. He got everything going on, right? Or she got everything going on. But verse 12 says what?
If you be brought low, he will be against you and will hide himself from your face.
Is that a friend? When you go down to a lower state and they want to hide themselves from you? You in a lower state. Oh, he might ask me for some money. I'm out of here. Or she might ask me for some money. I'm out of here. A friend is supposed to be there for his brother or his sister. They shouldn't even have to ask. But when you know that somebody is in need and they ain't got that much money, you don't even want to be around them. You trying to avoid their phone calls. You getting away from them. Like, oh man, here they come. Let's get out of here. He gonna ask us for some money. But just think about what we saying. You know what I mean? If we got it, why wouldn't we give it if I'm a friend? And I know that my friend is in need, and I know my friend needs me. Why wouldn't I give him or her what I have to give? What spirit is activating that? Just think about it. I know a lot of us have done that. But with us being Israelites, with us being walking in the spirit, with us saying that we are changed and renewed our mind in the spirit of the Most High, we got to examine our thoughts and actions, right? So if we sit up there saying, I don't want to help my brother or sister when they're in need and I know I got it, what spirit am I walking in? I'm going to hide my face from you because I don't want to give you nothing because I know you broke. Don't nobody want to hang around broke people. You know what I mean? But imagine how much power it would be against Satan if you would help your brother and sister while they're low. Because guess what? When you get to a lower state, it's a whole bunch of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? You getting attacked from every different way. The Satan is making you feel like nobody care about you. Nobody want to help you. You need to just turn your back on them. Go back into the world. This and that. That's when they need you the most. And we need to start reaching on our hands and helping our brothers and sisters when they're in the lower state. Keep going, Travis.
It reads, separate yourself from your enemies and take heed of your friends.
Okay, so he said, separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends, right? So who is my enemy? You know who your enemies are? The people that's going against the Most High. That's who your enemy is supposed to be.
Speak on it.
That's who your enemy is supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be your brother and sister that's trying to walk in the truth. That shouldn't be your enemy. Your enemy should be everybody that's blaspheming the Most High. Everybody that's breaking the Sabbath. Everybody that's going around shooting and corrupting our people to make them go against the Most High. Them should be your enemies. So we need to take heed to who our friends are. Remember, that name comes with a price. You can't just have the name friend when you walking with me. You know what I'm saying? And to earn the name brother, oh my goodness, you really got to show that. Because now, like Prophet said, I'm calling you, I'm saying that basically me and you is so close, it's like we came out the same womb. So that's deep. That's super deep when I say this is my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is my flesh. This is my blood. For you to earn that, it got to be proven. Okay, verse 14.
Verse 14. A faithful friend is a strong defense. Woo. Man.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. So if you got a friend that's faithful to you, is he not going to fight for you? Is he not going to stand up for you? Or is she not going to stand up for you? She not going to vouch for you?
Man, say that thing.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
if
true,
somebody
though,
talking bad about you, a faithful friend gonna be the first one to stand up and say, "Hey, no, that ain't who. No, he or she ain't like that."
Right.
It don't roll like that. That's not who he is. He don't get out like that, or she don't get out like that. Immediately, it shouldn't be something like, should I say something? No, it says strong defense. Not no weak defense, strong defense.
That's so true, man.
and Travis proved that to me just recently. Somebody said, I said something. I was like, what? I was like, man, I ain't even in Detroit. What is that? I was talking about. And the first thing Travis did was try to make it right. He stood up. He was like, no, he wouldn't say that. That he don't even. That ain't even him. I don't even know what you're talking about. That ain't what's going on. And then he made it right between whatever was going on. And I was just like, man, strong defense, man. That's how it must be. We can't sit up there and let somebody talk about your friend and then you join in with it.
That's fake.
Be like, yeah, you know what? And he did see that. Then you like, yeah, he is this, he is that. That ain't no strong defense. We got to have strong defense. And this is giving us the tools that we need to call ourselves brothers and sisters. These are giving us the tools that we need to become the nation that the Most High has created. You know what I mean? We can't be having all this envy and strife within us as a nation. We are growing. We are striving, and our spirit is being empowered by the Most High. And so we focus on Him, and we love our brother as ourselves. I'm gonna always be a strong defense to my brothers and sisters. He's going to
right. And he that has found such one has found a treasure.
And if you found somebody who was a strong defense towards you, what do you say?
Has found a treasure.
You have found a treasure. You know what I like to say when I read this? You ain't never had a friend like me. Because if you have a friend like me, I mean, if I call you a friend, it's to the end, man. Like, and I know I ain't trying to go back in the world, but it was some songs that really related to this, you know what I mean, to me, you know what I'm saying? Tupac was saying, you ain't never had a friend like me. He said, your enemy is my enemy. You ain't never had a friend like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I heard that, I was like, man, that's deep. He letting you know, like, who's going against you, they got to go against me too, because I got to be a strong defense. And you found a treasure. If somebody want to stand for you, somebody going to fight for you and be a strong defense for you.
Man, you know what's so cold about that right there?
What?
What did Yeshaya say call him?
Friend.
He said call him friend, man. You know what I'm saying? That's deep. You talking about a strong defense? You know?
That was in the lesson, Travis, but but that's on point though. So I guess we'll get that right after this.
My bad.
Okay, same thing with Abraham. Abraham was called a friend of Ahia.
That man.
I was bringing that one out too. So like you said, Abraham was a friend of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know how good you have to be for the Most High to say, "This is my friend"? Man.
The Most High, though. Man.
Like, this is my homeboy.
Right. Man.
And
can you imagine being the enemy of that, of somebody the Most High call friend?
And it wasn't even, not just as a side point, he didn't necessarily call Job a friend, but Job may as well been a friend too, because in order for the Most High to brag on Job to Satan, that shows something about Job's character.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
But yeah, absolutely, I hear what you're saying, man. It's 100%.
Man, that's so deep.
But I want to touch on something before you keep going, man, because that's one thing that I put myself out there on Front Street, man. That's one thing I had to deal with, man, and kind of still dealing with, because all my life growing up, I've always dealt with people who backbit me, man, who, from my father on down, people who said they were going to do this and never did that. They, at any given moment, any given time, when the situation, the conversation presented itself, they always talked down on my crown, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? I kind of grew up with this loner type of mentality, not being able really to trust people, and not being able to be in that position to where if somebody say they got my back, they really will, because I'm thinking it's a conditional thing. When the moment suits them, when they are fine or whatnot, or if I have something to offer, then I'm their friend. But the minute they can't tell me to do what they want me to do, or the minute, they get with somebody else who don't really favor me too well, then in order for them to save face and not be excluded by them, they'll turn on me. So I've just adopted the cynical mentality, like, man, I'm just going to back up from everybody. The only thing is, that's when I noticed Satan really had a field day with me. You know what I mean? Because I'm by myself, and I didn't have enough scriptural reference and enough word in me for me to fight off the attacks that were coming. Instead, I allowed myself to hear those voices that the world classifies as depression. And there was many times in which I would hear voices that tell me, you ain't good enough, you ain't nothing, nobody's gonna ever love you, nobody ever cared about you. I'm talking about since I was like 4 or 5 years old, as far back as I can remember, man. And you know what I mean? And that has been something that tormented me the majority of my life. And even coming off of, I had got divorced, man, and which my ex-wife, she had chose to leave me, and then not only that, but some other stuff along with it that kind of made it a little hard for me. Like, she really wanted to leave me homeless out here in the state where I have, I had no family. So I really adopted this cocoon of, I'm never going to let nobody do that to me again. I'm not going to get that close enough to nobody. I can say, hey, what's up, how about I keep it pushing, because I'm never going to let nobody that close to me again to see my vulnerable points and my weaknesses, so they can take advantage of that and hit me again. So I just wanted to concur when you were saying that, that's what the enemy will use to tap on that. And he's been prompting me and priming me for that ever since I was little. So at a time like this, he could really try to knock me out the way, because he knows that he knew before I knew the greatness that Ahia has on my life and the line that I come from. So he tried to stop me and knock me out the game before I get to the finish line, you know what I mean? So, I have to be transparent in this, and which I still battle with that to this day. The battle is getting a little easier, but that's still something that I can't just snap my fingers and go away with. That's why I'm trying to really keep myself with the mindset of, okay, well, these brothers actually, you know, they make me feel like they actually care about what happened to me. You know what I mean? So if anybody out there is feeling, trust me, you ain't alone. I feel it too. I felt it too. You know what I mean?
That's right, Doc.
That's right, family. Hey, that's why the Most High will move you with people that you need to be around, man. And, you know, it's a blessing, man, because this is an opportunity for me to call you a friend. You a brother, you know what I'm saying? We've been laboring together, man. I'm feeling your spirit, man, and I can, in a short period of time, I can give you that name for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, real talk, man. Likewise.
That's what's up, family.
Okay, so you know, and just gotta let it, you know, gotta accept that, man, and break out of that when you know, because me having that mentality protected me for so long, but at the same time, it's protecting me from. It's not necessarily protecting me, but it's damning me from what the Most High wants to do with me at a point like now in my life. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's all.
For sure.
Okay. What was that, verse 15?
Verse 15.
All right.
It says, nothing do countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable.
Okay, so when it says countervail, that's like upset or counteract or come against. So can't nothing come against that friendship. You know what I mean? If it's a faithful friend, ain't nothing gonna be able to stop the friendship. You know what I mean? Like, nobody from the outside can come in and destroy your friendship with somebody else. You know what I mean? If it's a faithful friendship, it will be impossible for it to happen. Because if you faithful to your friend, be like, man, I don't care what you talking about, brothers or sisters. You can't break this friendship up. You know what I mean? And this is how we got to be with Israel, man. This is the kind of love that the Most High is asking us to have. This is the kind of connection we got to have with each other. All right, keep going, Curtis.
Verse 16. A faithful friend is the medicine of life.
Woo-hoo. Wow. Do y'all hear that? A faithful friend is the medicine of life. Guess why? Because a faithful friend will be medicine because he's gonna always be there to take care of you, like medicine. He's gonna always be there saying, hey, man, get up, dude. We gotta do this. Hey, man, don't worry about that. Take that out your head, man. That's the devil, man. Let's pray together. Let's fast together. Let's go tear down some churches. Let's go over here and wake these people up. Get your mind off of this. A faithful friend is going to be medicine for your life. He going to always, or she always going to be there for you. When you hurting, they're going to be right there. When you sad, they're going to be right there. They're not going to turn their back on you. They're going to be medicine in your life. Keep going.
And they that fear the Most High shall find him.
Mm-hmm.
Whoso feareth the Most High shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also.
Verse 18.
My son, gather instruction from your youth up, so that you shall find wisdom till old age.
So this is to find wisdom in your old age. Now remember, a lot of us just got reborn. You might be 40-something years old, but you just got reborn. You just had to put on a new life. You just had to reconstruct everything that you ever been doing for all your life and change it all over to something brand new. So if we want to prevail to the end, if we want to build a nation, these are the things that we need to apply to our life. It's a must. It is a must. Okay, so Travis brought this scripture out, and we might as well get on with it. Let's go to John 15, and we're gonna start at verse 11.
John 16. Excuse me, y'all. John chapter 16 and
15?
verse.
15,
You
right?
said 15?
Yeah.
John chapter 15 and verse 11. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you.
Okay, so he said we must love one another as Christ loved us. Okay, now we're going to get to that question. As Christ loved us. Keep going.
Excuse me, young. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
So the verse right before it is that we have to show our love like Christ loved us, right? Now read that again.
Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
That's how much Christ loved us. He actually laid down his life for me and you. He gave his life because of he loved you. He could have said, no, I ain't doing it. But then Israel will be lost. But he loved us enough to say that I'm going to be the way for you to get back into this kingdom. I'm going to be the one that's going to lay down my life so you ain't got to get stoned and killed for all the wrong that you was doing. Because each and every one of us was supposed to be put to death already. If you ever broke the Sabbath, if you ever ate some pork, you was supposed to be put to death already. But through the grace of Christ loving you so much, he actually gave his life for you so you don't have to be stoned to death. And he made a way for you to get back in with the Most High even though we was being so disobedient. So he loved us in our ignorance, right? And remember, a friendship got to be unmovable. A friendship got to be strong. Can't nobody break that friendship. Christ did not let the devil break the friendship that we had, even though we was acting up, even though we act out, even though we went against him. He was like, I'm still going to be your friend. And to prove my friendship to you, I'm going to lay down my life for you. So there is no greater love than a man laying down his life for his friend. Keep going.
You are my friends, if you do whatsoever I command you.
That's a powerful statement right there.
Y'all don't get it, Yahonathan?
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to what we was talking about in the beginning. See, he says, you are my friend if you do whatsoever I command you. When were the commandments given? Exodus 20, everybody.
In the beginning.
Right. Hey, so what I'm just trying to, that was powerful because we was just talking about what a friend is. See, your friend ain't, like Malak just said, it's not that person that's going to come get you to go to the club. Your friend is that person that call you and say, hey, man, let's get in these scriptures.
Or your friend is the one that tell you, man, you don't need to go to the club. You always get in trouble when you go to the club. Let's stay and do this. You don't need to go to the club. It's a Sabbath, man.
You going through hard times, your friend call you and say, you know what, man, I'm a praying fast with you.
Yeah.
I just thought that was real powerful, man. That was a powerful little verse.
It is, man.
What's so powerful about it is that Christ is the Son of the Most High, man.
Right.
Don't nobody get that. He the only one got that position. Nobody else. Right? And he could have easily been like, call me master, call me this. But what did he say? Ye are my friends. And we got all these dudes getting a little bit of word in them, nowhere near the word of the Most High. And they want you to be calling them all these different names. Call me this, call me that. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. I'm this great. Oh, I'm greater than this. You better bow down to me. All this crazy stuff when Christ was so humble at the position that he was in, that high of a level, sitting on the right-hand side of the Most High, he was still humble and said, call me a friend. Man, that's a tough. Each man that's out here preaching, man, that's a humble us automatic. If Christ did that, when he was sitting on the right-hand side of the Most High, calling him friend, come on, man, that's huge. Read verse 15, sir.
Verse 15. Henceforth, I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you.
Okay, so Christ said, I'm going to give you everything that my Father gave to me, and we're going to have the same job, so we're going to be friends. What's going to be our job? Keep going.
You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, that your fruit shall remain, that you shall bring forth fruit.
So Christ, we didn't choose Christ, Christ chose us, and he said, he ordained you to do what? To go out and bring forth fruit. So you don't need nobody to ordain you to do nothing. We got all these people like, oh, you got to be ordained to do that. Who are you? I get ordained by the Messiah himself. Why I need you to ordain me? You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. We got these Catholic priests who's up here ordaining people like they got some power. You ain't got no power. Who are you? Oh, I'm an ordained minister. Who ordained you? So just because you have that title, you think that you above somebody, or you think you got more knowledge than somebody, or you want to put yourself on a pedestal over somebody because you are supposed to be an ordained minister? Christ ordained us to go out and bring forth fruit. What is that fruit that we must bring? We must bring the lost sheep of the house of Israel into the fold. They need you. Christ chose you. He want to put his spirit in you so he can do his work through you. It's not your will. It's his will that must be done. And when we get off of this thing like it's us, it's me, it's you. It ain't us, it's me and you. It's the Most High in you, doing the work through you. And so when you get that in your head, then that's going to cut out a whole lot of confusion with us as a family. Because everybody's trying to move on their own accord. Everybody got all these different ideas and things that they want to do, but ain't nobody saying, what does the Most High want us to do? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We got to move by him. We can't move by us. If we move, we are faulty. We make mistakes. We done made plenty of mistakes. So why would you want to take that step without making sure that this is a step that the Most High wants you to make? And so this is where we got to get, my family, you know what I'm saying? We got to get to a point to where it's not our will. He said, lean not to thy own understanding. We can't understand how he created the heavens and the earth. We can't understand how he makes the wind blow. We can't understand how that water is surrounded. We're surrounded by water, but it won't come on this land. We don't understand all of that. He do. So when you want to put your trust in somebody who got way more knowledge than you can ever imagine, think about forever. He always been here. Always. There was no beginning. Like, just think about this. Like, you will almost wreck your brain trying to think about what was the beginning. Like, how did that get there and this get there? I remember one time it took me like 5 hours just rolling through my brain trying to figure out, like, what is forever? Like, always, forever, always been here. You know what I mean? We can't understand that because we are a creature that has been created. But we must give our power and our authority and our praise to the Creator. You are the created. Give your praise to the Creator. Okay, so now back to the lesson. Okay, so now I wanted to give an example of a real good friendship in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like a lot of people don't talk about, you know, like homeboys or friends or die-hard brothers in the scriptures. So I wanted to talk about Jonathan and David. Wait, who said that?
Who? I said Jonathan.
Yeah, that was the best friendship in the world.
Man, Jonathan went against his own low.
Okay, that was up.
The reason I say that is because Jonathan went against his own father, the king, just to spare David's life.
Yeah. Break it all down for him, man, so you can tell him the commentary about what we about to read. I'm just gonna get in a little bit, a part of it. I'm not gonna get in too deep with it, but I'm gonna show you.
I mean, I'm just gonna give just a brief synopsis of like an example of what I was referring to, like when Saul had ordered David to be killed. Jonathan actually gave David a signal, like, "Hey man, look, I'm gonna shoot this arrow. You see me shoot this arrow? That means they trying to get you." You know what I mean? And Jonathan knew that he was going against his own father, but at the same time, he had so much love for David as a friend that he didn't want David to be killed because he knew it was an unrighteous persecution of David. And he was that cool enough for David to where, hey, man, I'll go against the king just to spare my friend's life. And when you're dealing with that kind of loyalty, that's loyalty above all others. If you forsake your own family, even though your family was wrong, he still made that move to go against the ruling authority just to save the friend, his true friend. And he knew there was anointing on David. And because of that, David was allowed to survive and do the things that David became, was known for doing and who he became.
Hey, but David gave it back in return.
Yeah, David looked out for Jonathan, exactly. He made sure Jonathan came and ate at the king's table.
And his kids, too. He took care of his kids.
Yeah, his whole house. The house of Jonathan. The house of Jonathan, servants and all. And that's a true friendship. And, I even heard one brother say, and it really kind of ticked me off, man, but I had to realize who I was dealing with. These are unlearned people, and they just say anything because the spirits moved them to it. This is the same brother. He hails Egypt, so that speaks enough. But I even heard this brother suggest to me that David was a homosexual because in the scriptures how it states that the love that Jonathan and David had for each other was surpassing the love of he loved his friend more than he had the love for women. And I was like, brother, you don't understand what that scripture is saying. What that scripture is saying is David, the love for women failed in comparison to the love he had for Jonathan because Jonathan saved his life. You know what I mean? That I don't understand why he would take that and talk down on David like that. But again, like I said, these are unlearned people, and they'll just say anything. And at the same time, too, it could be that I was being tested to see where I would come with that, to see what kind of answer I would give when I would I allow myself to just be taken with the wind, or would I stand and defend David's character, knowing that he was our forefather? You know what I mean? So, you know, when I heard that, I couldn't believe what I was hearing, man. But that was simply stating that David had more love for this dude because this dude here made sure that he was going to survive and keep his life, man. When it comes down to that, I don't care what girlfriend you have. I do the same thing. If you going to save my life, man, I don't care about these women. I got more love for you that's in a different capacity because you're trying to make sure that I stay here on this earth. These women, they just trying to take something from me. You know what I mean? So you're adding to the days of my life. These women are trying to take it away.
That's right.
So, but anyway, yeah, that's where I wanted to just bring up Jonathan on that side. That's just one, you know, my opinion on that.
Okay, so we're about to get into Jonathan and David, right? So Saul, right, he was the first king of Israel, and Jonathan was his son, right? So Jonathan was the next king to Israel. He was supposed to be the next person to be the king of Israel, right? But David was Saul messed up with the Most High. He started doing things that the Most High wasn't pleased with, so the Most High chose David, which was not the son of Saul. So that's how deep it was, because this Jonathan loved David so much that he knew he was supposed to be king, but he gave it over to his brother. He gave it over to David. He was the next in line to be king, but he was like, nah, man. Like he said, he knew David had an anointing on him. And he loved him so much, he was like, man, you need to be king. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's go to Saul, 1 Samuel 18:1.
First Samuel chapter 18 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul.
He said, Jonathan loved David as his own soul. And that's going back to loving thy neighbor as thyself. Well, go ahead.
And that's deep right there. That's deep right there, because I always say to my folks, like when I used to really be thinking I'd be really having a friend, I'd be like, man, let's stay knitted and committed. And then when I see this here, that he was knit with David, I was like, wow, okay, that's cool. That's real deep.
Yeah.
My bad. Go ahead, Travis. My bad.
Oh, you good. Verse 2. And Saul took him that day, and would let him go no more home to his father's house. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant, because he loved him as his own soul.
Go ahead, Travis.
Verse 4. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him, and gave it to David, and his garments, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul sent him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. And it came to pass, as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all cities of Israel singing and dancing to meet King Saul, with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played, and said, Saul has slain his thousands, and David has slain his 10,000.
Okay, so they having a party, right? They got all these musical instruments, and then while they got all these instruments, they saying Saul killed thousands, right? But they was like, David killed 10,000, right? So now Saul is like, 10,000. He's like, wait a minute, how they gonna give him? I'm the king, and they gonna talk about he killed 10,000 and I killed 1,000? Because he was pissed off. But all right, keep it.
Verse 8. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, They have ascribed unto David 10,000, and to me they only ascribe 1,000. What can he have more than the king? More but the kingdom. And Saul eyed David.
But what he said, what's left? Him taking over the kingdom? You know what I'm saying? Like, they already giving this dude talking about he killed 10,000. If I killed 1,000, what's next? He gonna take the kingdom? Well, you go ahead.
Right. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from the Most High came upon Saul. And he prophesied in the midst of the house, and David played with his hand, as at other times. And there was a javelin in Saul's hand.
Wait. That's all right there. Okay. Now it said, it came to pass on that morrow that an evil spirit from the Most High came upon Saul, right? So now, if you keep on, now he was envying this brother, right? He was envying David, right? Because everybody was giving him more praise than he was getting. So now he started envying him, which would be a covet. Like he started coveting him, right? And so when you start coveting, it's the beginning of Satan starting like this whole chain reaction of other things that's going to transpire just because of this anger or this frustration or this what is that word I'm looking for?
Jealous.
This envy that you have in your spirit, right? Envy turning into what? Now he want to kill David. So this is why the Most High say, don't let wrath before the sun go down. Talk to your brother, man. Because if they could have probably talked this out before they got to this point that we about to read right now. Okay, so all right, Travis, go ahead.
And Saul cast the javelin, but he said, I will smite David, even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice.
Okay, so Saul threw 2 javelins at David, right? But David was so tight, what did he do? He dodged both of them. He was like, man, you can't hit me, dude. Whoop, whoop. So he could not hit him, right? Read on.
And Saul was afraid of David, because Ahiah was with him, and was departed from Saul. Therefore Saul removed him from him. Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we see that Saul and David had some serious problems, right? Okay, so now let's go to Saul, 1 Samuel 19:1.
First Saul. 1 Samuel, chapter 19 and verse 1. And Saul spake to Jonathan his son, and to all his servants, that they should kill David. But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted much in David. And Jonathan told David, saying, Saul my father seeketh to kill you. Now therefore, I pray you, take heed to yourself until the morning, and abide in the secret place, and hide yourself. And I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where you are, and I will commune with my father. Hold on, y'all. Turn this page. And I will commune with my father. Okay.
Oh, now he wanted to. It goes back to Sirach, which is Ecclesiastes, where we were reading, right? So his friend needed him in a time of trouble, and what was he? He was right here. Hello? Yeah. Okay, so if somebody got me on, because I'm hearing the echo, man. Who's that? It's that feedback coming from. Okay, there we go. All right, so I was saying that Jonathan seen that his friend was in trouble, right? And he was there for his friend. He was like, I'm going to be here. You know, they trying to. Everybody put their phone on mute so they want to talk except for Travis. All right, can y'all hear me now? You hear me clearly, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so basically what I was saying, his friend was there for him. He didn't leave him in harm's way. He was a strong defense for his friend. And remember, he said, when you find something like this, you find a treasure. So now this brother was in a situation to where his life was going to be in danger, but his friend didn't just leave him out there so he could get killed. He said, I'm gonna try to help you, I'm going to try to hide you, and I'm going to try to talk to my father. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, keep going, sir.
Verse 4. And Jonathan spake good of David unto Saul his father, and said unto him, let not the king sin against his servant, against David, because he has not sinned against you, and because his works have been to you very good. For he did put his life in his hand, and slew the Philistines, and the Most High wrought a great salvation for Israel. You saw it, and did rejoice. Wherefore then will you sin against innocent blood, to slay David without a cause? And Saul hearkened unto the voice of Jonathan, and Saul sware, as a higher liveth, he shall not be slain.
Okay, now go to Saul, 1 Samuel 20 and 12 real quick.
1 Samuel chapter 20 and verse 12. And Jonathan said unto David, O a higher power of Israel, when I have sounded my father about tomorrow any time or the third day, and behold, if there be good towards David, and I then sit not unto you, and show it you, a higher do so, and much more to Jonathan. But if it please my father to do thee evil, then will I show it you, and send you away, and you may go in peace, and a higher be with you, and he hath been with my father. And you shall not only while yet I live show me the kindness of the Most High, that I die not, but also thou shalt not cut off thy kindness from my house forever. No, not when Ahiah has cut off your enemies of David, every one from the face of the earth. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, that Ahiah even require it at the hand of David's enemies. And Jonathan caused David to swear again, because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. Then Jonathan said to David, tomorrow is the new moon, and you shall be missed, because your seat shall be empty. And when you have stayed 3 days, then shall you go down quickly and come to the place where you did hide yourself when the business was in hand, and shall remain by the stone of Zell. And I will shoot 3 arrows on the side thereof, as though I shot at a mark. And behold, I will send a lad, saying, Go find out the arrow. If I expressly say unto the lad, behold, the arrows are on the side of you, take them, then come, for there is peace to thee, and no hurt, as Ahiah liveth. But if I say thus unto the young man, behold,
you can start right there. So now we see the friendship of this brother actually turned down a glorious position that he would have had as being a king of Israel for his friend, because he knew his friend was called to be in that position, and he wasn't. He didn't envy his friend saying, nah, you know what, I'm going to stand in this position or whatever. He gave it to his friend. He took all his stuff off and gave it to his friend. Then when his father wanted to kill him, he went and fought for his friend. First he hit him, then he showed him how to get out, and then he tried to stop his father from killing him. That's what a friend do. A friend is somebody that protects you. A friend is somebody who cares about your well-being. And so now I'm going to let Travis come in right now with his scriptures real quick.
Now, I want to bring something before Travis starts. I want to bring something forth on David, just to show the type of integrity that Jonathan saw in David. Can somebody please get 1 Samuel 24, 3 through 11? I know it's 2 through 11. I know it sounds kind of long, but this is proving my point exactly why Jonathan looked at David with such love, because this is who David was.
1 Samuel chapter 24 and verse 3. Oh, you said verse 2?
Yeah, 2 through 11.
It says, Then Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of Israel and went to seek David and his men upon the rocks of the wild goats. And he came to the sheepcotes by the way, where was a cave, and Saul went in to cover his feet, and David and his men remained in the sides of the cave. And the men of David said unto him, Behold, the day of which Ahiah said unto you, Behold, I will deliver your enemy in your hand, and you may do to him as it shall seem good unto you. Then David arose and cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privately. And it came to pass afterward that David's heart smote him, because he had cut off Saul's skirt. And he said unto his men, Ahiah forbid that I should do this thing unto my master. Ahiah's anointed to stretch forth my hand against him, saying, He is the anointed of Ahiah. So David stayed his servants with these words, and suffered them not to rise against Saul. But Saul rose up out of the cave and went on his way. David also arose afterward and went out of the cave, and cried after Saul, saying, My lord, the king. And when Saul looked behind him, David stooped with his face to the earth, and bowed himself. And David said unto Saul, Wherefore hearest thou men's words, saying, Behold, David seeketh your hurt? Behold, this day your eyes have seen how Ahiah had delivered you today into my hand in the cave. And some bade me to kill you, but my eyes spared you. And I said, I will not put forth my hand against my Lord, for he is Ahiah's anointed. Moreover, my father, see the skirt of your robe in my hand. For in that I cut off the skirt of your robe, and killed you not. Know you and see that there is neither evil nor transgression in my hand, and I have not sinned against you, yet you huntest my soul to take it.
Now, with that saying, to me, that's so powerful, man, because all of David's men was telling David, man, Saul is here. You can take him out right now. Saul didn't even see David in the cave with him. David could have really got with Saul one-on-one, and that would have been the end of it. But David's humility, his heart, and who he was, out of the fear of Ahiah, he knew in his heart that that was not yet the set time. So instead of acting this way against his friend's father and against the anointed of the Most High, he just let it be known, like, look, man, I could have got you, but I didn't do it because of the love that I have for the Most High, and because I didn't do anything, I don't know why you're still trying to seek my life. To me, that speaks power right there.
It is.
Hey, but he had that opportunity more than once.
Exactly. And Saul would have never even seen it coming. I bet you when Saul turned around and saw David, he was surprised, like, whoa, wait a minute, he could have got me. And what did David do? David bowed to the earth. So I believe, the character like this is what David displayed, which is why Jonathan and David was so close. Like, Jonathan knew that what was in David was special, and special enough for him to, like, be inseparable from him as friends, as true brothers.
Man.
I just found that to be, like, super deep. Like, man, you know what I mean? That's I see why Jonathan had much love for David. David was a righteous dude, man. And Saul and Jonathan knew his pops was wrong.
Yep. Yep. That's right, man. Hey, when I was reading this story for the first time, man, for one, I was scared for Saul's life when he started coming at David. And for two, I'm on the edge of my seat reading it like, man, he could have off dude. But he was so humble. He was so humble, man. And his loyalty to the Most High and his loyalty to Saul made him not even put his hands on him. You know what I'm saying? So,
that would have been to everybody else. That would have been considered a righteous kill because this dude looking for you.
Exactly.
Well, it would have been a righteous kill also because David knew his position.
Yeah.
David knew he was next in line.
But David also knew it was in the highest time and not the timing that his men spoke.
Right. Yeah, man. Now we done spoke about friendships, brotherhoods, covenants, pacts, right? We done spoke about these things. Now it's time to get into a little bit of a negative side to it, because with friendships, with brotherhoods, man, you got those people, like the scripture said, that come and they sit at your table and they kicking it with you, but behind your back, they off on a whole nother tip, man. So let's get into that. We're going to start off by going to Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 21.
Somebody got that, or you want me to get it over?
I'll go ahead and get it, huh?
You said 18 and 31?
18 and 21.
21. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. For I have kept the ways of the Lord higher, and I have not wickedly departed from my God.
Read that again, huh?
For I have kept the ways of the Lord higher, and have not wickedly departed from my God, the Most High.
And I just want to put that in your heads, put things in perspective. Get James chapter 3, and we're going to start at verse 2.
James chapter 3, verse 2. For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body.
All right, now the script says if it said we offend all, right? In many things we offend all, and if a man offend not in his word, the same is perfect, is a perfect man, so he's blameless, so to speak, right? And it says, and also be able to bridle the whole body. Keep going.
Behold, we put bits in the horses' mouths that they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body.
Keep going.
Behold, also the ships, which though they be so great, and are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listeth. Even so the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
Now it's about to get deep. Go ahead.
And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the curse of nature, and it is set on fire of hell.
So it says, and your tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity, the multitude of sins with your tongue, with your mouth. You know what I'm saying? And then the verse finishes. It says it sets on fire the course of nature, and it's set on fire of hell. Verse 7.
For every kind of beast, and of birds, and of serpents, and of things in the sea is tamed, and hath been tamed of mankind.
So the scripts say that everything that you can think of, from beasts, birds, serpents, even the things in the sea, are tamed. They're controlled, right? But give verse 8.
But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison.
So it says the tongue can't be tamed. It says it is unruly, evil, and full of deadly poison. Now, verse 2 stated that if you don't offend in your word, the same shall be a perfect man. So now we got to learn how to tame our tongues, right? But a lot of brothers don't even want to. A lot of brothers don't even think to, and in turn starts to do what's called backbiting or talebearing or gossiping, right? So let's get into the law. Let's go to Leviticus 19 and 16.
Excuse me. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 16. Verse 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. Ahia, the Lord Ahia.
So the scripture is telling you, don't go up among your people as a scandal monger. Somebody walking around slandering people's names, talking about people. You know what I'm saying? A straight up gossiper. The scripture said, don't do it. Right? But a lot of our brothers lose sight of that. They lose sight of the law when it comes to this. Because they'll go behind a brother that quick and talk about him. You know what I'm saying? And we got to check that, Israel. We got to check that, man. That's of the world. That is not of Yeshaya. That is of the world. Let's get Psalms chapter 39 and verse 1.
Psalms chapter 39, verse 1. I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth from the right.
Read that one more time.
I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue.
He said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. And like I was saying, that multitude of sin, it's going to come straight from your mouth. Go ahead.
While the wicked is before me. I was dumb and silent. I held my peace, even from good, and my sorrow was stirred.
All right, that's good. That's good. So right here, he's saying that he's gonna take heed to his ways, that you sin not with your tongue. Right? Get James chapter 4 and verse 11. Let's get into some of that sinning with your tongue. I'm in a crunch for time. That's why I'm kind of rushing through it. I just want y'all to get the main focus of what's going on, man. Because a lot of brothers nowadays it's a lot of division because of this thing. Because people are going around talebearing, backbiting on brothers. You know what I'm saying? And this has to be dealt with. Go ahead.
James chapter 4, verse 11. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother. Speak not evil one of another. So if you talking to a brother and a brother is present or he not present, do not speak evil of that brother, because remember, he is your brother. Do not speak evil of that man. Go ahead. Wait. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law and judgeth the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge.
So he giving you a whole breakdown. Giving you a whole breakdown. He said, you speaking evil of your brother, that's like speaking evil of the law. Who did the law come from?
Most High.
Exactly. That's you, and you can't speak evil of the Most High. That's like blasphemy. You know what I'm saying? It's so deep that what the Most High planned this thing out so great. You got commandments to keep for him. You got commandments to keep from your brother. But if you break those commandments to your brother, you breaking them to the Most High. Just like a woman and her husband. If the man is the head of his wife, and Yeshaya is the head of the man, if the woman disrespects her husband, who in turn is she disrespecting? Yeshaya.
All right, break it down.
You feel what I'm saying? So we got to be mindful. Like when you speaking slanderous words against your brother, you might as well put Yeshaya in his place. You might as well put the Most High in his place. Right? So be mindful of that. Be very mindful of that. Read verse 12.
There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judgest another? But who art thou?
Okay, so we go drop that. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 9.
Proverbs chapter 17, verse 9. He that covereth the transgression seeketh love, but he that repeateth the matter separateth very friends.
So it says, he that covereth a transgression seeketh love. and what? Finish that out again.
Seeketh love, but he that or she that repeateth the matter separateth very friends.
Now think about that and hold that. Give me Proverbs 26 and 20. We're going to get some edification in a second.
Proverbs 26 and 20. Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So
it says, where no wood is, the fire
goeth
goeth out. So just think about that, you know what I'm saying? Where there ain't no wood, there ain't no fire, right? Now imagine just having you know what I'm saying, you and your brothers are at peace with one another, right? Now this is why it's so hard for brothers to accept new friends. Now get that verse one more time, Art.
Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth.
So if you got division amongst your core or your people or your family, it's because somebody is being a talebearer or talking behind somebody back. But when that person is separated, like we've been talking about all day, that strife ceases, right? Now, I want y'all to think about that on this type of scale, right? Let's get 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11 real quick, because we got to understand that when you start getting people who backbiting against their brothers, talking bad about their brothers, it may not even just be that person. It may be the spirit that has overtaken that person because of something he thought, right? Just like Saul was overtaken by an evil spirit because of something he thought in his mind, that's the same thing that could be happening with our brothers. Read that out.
They are too, so everybody can, be a part of it. I just wanted to add, and sisters.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 Corinthians what? Corinthians what?
2 and 11.
2 and 11. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
So it says, lest Satan shall not get advantage of us unless we be ignorant of his devices. Y'all got to understand, we all have to understand that Satan's devices are not just what you see, a cell phone, a tower. No. Satan can plant devices inside of people. And when that person comes at you that certain way, you got to be able to see Satan manifesting himself through that person. You got to be able to see that device coming at you, right? Get Psalms 80 and 6. What we got to realize is this is one of the main reasons why people can't even come up. Our enemies want us to be talking about each other behind our back, killing each other. You know what I'm saying? This is what they want. This is what they look for. And we giving them exactly what they want. We got to be renewed in the spirit of our mind. We got to realize, like, man, this is my brother. I can't be talking about that man behind his back. I can't be slandering his name. It's not uplifting him or my people. Give me that out.
Psalms chapter 8, verse 6. Thou makest us a strife.
Verse 6.
I'm sorry. Psalms chapter 80, verse 6. Thou makest us a strife unto our neighbors, and our enemies laugh among themselves.
So it says, we make strife among our neighbors. So we causing division amongst each other. We causing division amongst each other, and our enemies are doing what?
And our enemies, laugh among themselves.
They laugh among themselves, so they laughing like, oh man, look at them. Satan is our enemy. He wants division to come amongst us. But we got to come out of that, man. We got to start keeping the law. The law that we read earlier said don't go around talebearing amongst your brothers. Don't go out talebearing on your brothers. Backbiting on your brothers. Don't do that. Right? Let's get 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 13. Or sisters. I throw the sisters in there too. I know I've been saying brothers a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I mean both, sisters and brothers.
Oh, yeah. You said 15 or 16?
1 Timothy 5 and 13.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 13. And withal they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not.
So it says, and they withal learn to be idle, right? Wandering about from house to house. They go to house, person to person, speaking madness. Tattlers. Tell her, hey girl, I seen her do this. Hey man, you know that I'll go over there doing that. You know what I'm saying? It says speaking things which they ought not. You can't do that.
That's like growing up and your mama used to tell you, boy, stop tattling.
Exactly. You got it out. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But see, what we got to realize is what's going to come of that. Like the Most High see you. He winked at your ignorance like he spoke of. But now you know that you're not supposed to be doing this stuff. You want the truth. You're supposed to renew your mind. Right? So what is the come of this? Let's go to Psalms chapter 50 and verse 19.
Psalm chapter 50, verse 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit.
So he said, you give your mouth to evil and your tongue frame deceit. When you going out and you backbiting on your brothers, you giving your mouth to evil. You allowing your mouth to be used by Satan, so to speak. Keep going.
Okay. I lost my place. My Bible shut. What verse was you at?
Psalms chapter 50 and verse 29.
29. Yeah. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
He said, you speak against your brother. It's like you slandering your own mother's son. So the scripture is basically saying when you speaking against your brother, somebody that's like he came out of the womb with you, like we were speaking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? These brothers that I'm with, not Malak, Yahonathan, Brother Lo, the brother said, I didn't come out of the womb with these brothers, but it feel like it because we family. You know what I'm saying? And the scriptures say, you sit and you speak against your brothers, you're slandering your own mother's son. Keep going.
These things hast thou done. We're at chapter 50 of Psalms, verse 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silent.
So the Most High said, I seen you doing this stuff, and I just sat back and I watched you. Right? Just like a parent watching their child do something bad. You know what I'm saying? They gonna watch you do it. They gonna let you get yourself in that trouble because you know you ain't supposed to do it. Right? Keep going.
Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
He said, you thought I was just gonna be cool with that. You thought I was like you, that I was just gonna be cool with you doing what you're doing. He said, but I'm gonna reprove you and set you in order before your own eyes. You going?
Now consider this, ye that forget a higher, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver.
He said, now consider this, you that forget the Most High, because that's what you're doing when you start talebearing and backbiting and gossiping about your brethren or your sister. You're forgetting the Most High. You're forgetting His law. He said, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver you. I just want y'all to, we're going to pause just for 2 seconds on that. He going to tear you into pieces, and there be none to deliver you. Just because you want to talk behind your brother's back. That's serious, man. That's serious.
Real serious.
Yeah.
We got to clean up our actions, man. Like I said in the beginning, that is of the world, man. That's of the world. That he say, she say, all that. No, we in the truth. So we deal with truth, and we deal with each other. And it's a certain way that we supposed to deal with each other. You know what I'm saying? If you hear about your brother speaking badly about you, you hear about your brother slandering your name, you go to that brother, and let's get that. Let's get Matthew 18 and 15. You're
supposed to pull him to the side, man.
Huh?
No, I'm just saying, we in love, we're supposed to pull that brother to the side and chop it up with him one-on-one.
Exactly. But what do brothers do? They want to bust you out in front of everybody. And
or what they want to do is go to other people and talk down on you so they can go ahead and draw a support crowd. So now they're not by themselves. They've swayed other people's opinions against you without them even knowing what's up.
And guess what they're doing? Now they're being talebearers. Now they are backbiting. So the sin goes on and on and on. You feel what I'm saying? It's time to stop building sin upon sin, y'all. Let's make it right. Let's get Matthew 18 and 15.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone.
So if your brother come against you, or if he trespass against you, if he offend you in any way, you're supposed to go to that brother and talk to him alone. No crowd, nobody around, just you and him. One-on-one, mano y mano. Keep going.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Now, like Yahonathan was saying earlier, if he hear you, if he walking in the ways of the commandments, you gained your brother. That's your brother. Right? Keep going.
But if he will not hear you, then take with you one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
So he said, but if he will not hear you, then take with you one or two more that are in that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. So now you have to bring it forth. Now you have to say, man, he ain't trying to hear that, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need a mediator real quick. Let's get to Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 5. Because
you don't want to hit 17 on that, because 17 is like that's pulling them out.
I know. I got you. We gonna get to it. Let's get Proverbs 27 and 5. We go. You gotta like when now you got a mediator. Now you have to say, wait, man, this brother is slandering my name. This brother is, you know what I'm saying? Now you gotta have somebody to come in and mediate the situation. Read that out.
Proverbs chapter 27, verse 5. Open rebuke is better than secret love.
So open rebuke is better than secret love. I don't care how much I love this brother. I don't care how long we've been cool. If you doing wrong, if you trespassing against me, I have to openly rebuke you, because it's the only way you're going to learn from your ways. It's the only way. Get Isaiah 58 and 1.
All right, Travis, real quick question. That open rebuke, is that me and him, or is that me rebuking him in front of our brothers? How do you see that open rebuke?
Well, that when you go to him man to man, that one-on-one, that's where it could come into play then. But if he don't hear you, then you have to bring it up in front of 2 or 3 witnesses. I mean, it's interchangeable. Go hand in hand.
Okay. You know what I get out of that too? I get out of that, like, if you bring it up to somebody, then you've made, even though it's only one-on-one, you've still made known in the open that you know what they're doing, versus loving somebody and keeping what they're doing a secret.
Exactly.
And I look at it like this: when you take all the steps that you're supposed to take, and now this dude is sitting up here doing whatever he's doing, or this female is doing whatever she's doing, now I can openly rebuke you and feel no no bad feel about it because I did all the steps that I had to take. So now,
yeah, that's how I was seeing. That's how I was seeing it. That's how I was seeing it. Like, I can publicly rebuke you now because I tried to come at you one-on-one. I went through mediation, and now you sitting around here acting like you so perfect and you following the commandments, but you breaking every commandment under the law. And so now I can rebuke you in front of everybody and let them see who you really are.
Exactly.
That verse there parallels with Matthew 18 and 17.
Yep, and you already know, because that's we getting ready to go in a second. Let's get to Isaiah 58:1, because a lot of people apply this scripture when we out on the streets, but it applies to your brother right in front of you as well.
Isaiah 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sin.
So I got to show my brother his transgression. I got to show my brother his sin. He wasn't trying to hear it when it was just us two. Right? Now I got to lift up my voice. Now I got to let it be known that this brother is on some madness. Right? Now, on the other hand, when you get confronted, when you are confronted by one of your brothers about an issue that they have with you, I just want to sidetrack for a minute because a lot of people don't know how to accept that. You know, a brother coming at them about something they said, or you know what I'm saying, they still living in them days when they was in the streets. You know, somebody come up with, you know what I'm saying, got something to say wrong to you, then you react a certain way. But you gotta keep a couple things in mind. Let's get James chapter 1 and verse 19.
James chapter 1, verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath.
So it said,
the wrath of man worketh not the righteous of God.
It said, let every man be swift to hear and slow to speak. So when you listening to this brother speak to you, right? You gotta allow him to speak. Hear him out. Because like the Aqua said earlier, you gotta put yourself in that other brother's shoes, because you don't know how you made that brother feel when you trespassed against him, whether you did it or not. He felt offended or she felt offended. So now you have to hear them out. Be swift to hear and slow to speak. Let's get Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 1. I believe that's what I wrote down. Is that 13?
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 1. A wise son heareth his father's instructions, but a scorner heareth not rebuke.
Hold on, Doc. I think it was 15. Hold on.
That won't work, though.
I was about to say it do. Give Proverbs 15 and verse 1. That was kind of right on time, huh?
It was, huh? I was like, the only one to caught that? Only one to caught that?
15, Proverbs 15, 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
So if this brother coming to you out of all sincerity, and he says something that you don't like, it says a soft answer turneth away wrath. But grievous words, those burdensome words, those words that penetrate your brother's heart will stir up anger. Now you have a bigger problem, right? Now you have to have those witnesses there now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Travis, let me jump in for 1 minute. Hey, this also works with your women. When y'all having an argument, she's loud, give a soft answer, and it'll turn away the wrath. It really works.
That's right, Doc.
Soft answer will turn away wrath.
That's right, Doc. So just when you confronted by your brothers, man, just just keep in mind, man, that that you don't have to blow up. You know what I'm saying? It's a process to everything. So let's get back to Matthew chapter 18. So now you done came to this brother one-on-one. You done had a mediator in there, and this brother still ain't trying to hear it. Right? Let's get verse 17 now.
17. Yeah. And if you should neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if you neglect to hear the church,
all right, hold on. All right. So now he said, now if you neglect to hear all of these people that don't, now he neglected to hear the brother coming to him one-on-one. He neglected the 2 or 3 mediators. Now it's time to bring it to the church. It's time to bring it to the congregation or the camp, so people say. Right? Now it's time for everybody to chime in. This is what we call a council amongst brethren or amongst the congregation of people. Well, we all have to sit down and talk about it now. Right? Keep going.
But if he neglect to hear the church.
So if he neglect to hear everybody, he ain't trying to hear the one brother came to him, the mediators, or the rest of the body of the church. What should happen to him?
Let him be unto thee an heathen man and a publican.
Break those down. What's a heathen man? What's a heathen man?
A Gentile.
That's a Gentile. Put that brother away.
Out the camp.
Out the camp. Because there is ain't no reason for him to be there. He ain't trying to hear nobody. And the scripture said, let him be as a publican. This how you know this is our people that the script's talking about. This is talking about a tax farmer or a bill collector.
Man.
Hey, you know this is black folks. This is black folks.
He said, let him be as a Gentile and a bill collector. I ain't trying to hear nothing that brother got to say. I ain't answering no phone calls, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? But we don't want it to get to that point. We don't want it to get to that point, man. So, now if you do end up going to your brother in all sincerity and he apologizes, let's get Colossians chapter 3. In verse start at verse 13.
Forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Yeshua forgave you, so also do ye.
So if you you're supposed to be forgiving your brother. If he had apologized in sincerity. You know what I'm saying? Like Yeshua forgave us. We've been sinners our whole life. He was stoned. He took that bullet for us. And he said, you know what? I forgive you. Get it right. The same thing we got to do for our brothers, man. The same thing. Let's get Matthew chapter 18 and verse 22.
And Yeshua said unto him, I say unto thee.
Verse 21, huh?
21? All right. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? And Yeshua said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
So that's clear as day. That's clear as day. We can't hold grudges. We can't harp on the past. If your brother is going to apologize to you in sincerity, let it be that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be one of them brothers that you say, all right, apology accepted, and then bring it up again a week later. You know what I'm saying? That's not a way to deal. That's not putting it behind you. You know what I'm saying? And I know I kind of rushed through it. I skipped over some scriptures and whatnot, but if anybody got any questions or comments on the lesson that was just given, please press 1. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear from you. This is a something deep going on in Israel right now, and we need to come up out of it.
Hey, that 70 times 7 is deep, though.
It is.
Because it's like, what I take from that is that 7 is completion, right? It's the end of a week, it starts a new week. So I take that as a beginning. He's saying, forgive your brother and let it be a new beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah, y'all.
You know, a lot of times we forgive, but we don't forget. You know what I'm saying? We forgive, then we still hold a grudge. I ain't forgiving. He's saying, forgive and then begin again.
Exactly. That's like the Most High saying, I forgive you for all your sins that you committed. You done got baptized and everything, but that thing you did 12 years ago, I just can't let that go.
Right. I'm going to have to write that into the book of life. That one's going to go in there.
Right.
See, that's me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, dog. I forgive you, but I don't forget. I'll still remember. And I have, like, what I do, and I'm still praying on it, because I give everybody a chance, man. And I give them chance after chance after chance after chance after chance, but then at one particular time, my spirit is just shut down, and then I'll just be like, I'll forgive you for what you did to me, but at the same time, I distanced myself, so I won't allow you to be able to do the same thing that you did to me all the rest of those times. You know what I mean?
Hey, y'all. I hear you on that. I want to speak on something, because I learned a lot. Like, see, not only do we supposed to rebuke our brothers, but we learn from our brothers. And I want to tell y'all something about Malak. This brother right here will forgive and forgive. I ain't never seen nobody do some of the stuff that he done. Like, people that have done him so wrong. Like, I'm learning this. And I learned from him to be a lot more forgiving. Because I be like, man, you know what, dog? Screw them. Let's move on. But he be teaching me, he taught me that you can't do that. Like, because I've seen him do stuff. See, you don't learn from just, you know, you read and then you hear it, but when you see somebody do it, you learn. Because you're like, dang, you can't do that. And I've seen him do stuff, man, that I was like, I'm like, for real?
Right.
Like, people have done stuff to him, man, and he give them a place to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to put no names out there in situations, but I'm just saying, like, people have done stuff to him that, you know, them kind of people you would never talk to again. But this brother would be like, yeah, come on, you can stay at my house. I'm like, you can stay at the park. But he's like, you can stay at my house. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, so I've seen it done, and it made me go, well, you know what, dude, you need to work on you. Because you can't be like that when the scriptures say we're supposed to forgive. And to let you guys know, yes, it was one of our brothers or sisters. But, so you're supposed to forgive them. And he did it, and it showed me. So we learn from watching our brothers. We got to watch our brothers that are in the truth, that are walking right, though. You know, because some brothers you'll learn the wrong things from. So.
And I want to back that one up, because I learned something from you as well. Because, like, I used to always, like, I had my guard down, and I used to be always forgiving like that. But at a certain time, the devil was using that against me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was bothering me, and I used to always go to your house and be like, man, why they doing this and why they doing that? And then one day he was just like, hey, man, you can't sit up here and let them just keep doing this. He was like, man, enough is enough. You got to let it go at a certain point. And you can't let it get to you because of Satan. And then when he said that, man, because I didn't even see, remember, Satan is real crafty on how he try to get you. So I didn't even know I was getting hit by Satan right there. I'm sitting up here blocking all other shots Satan be doing, but he hit me right here, and it's affecting my walk. It was affecting me trying to wake the children of Israel up. It was affecting my family. It was affecting everything, you know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that from him because he had to show me, like, you got to cover up right there because he keep on socking you right in the stomach and you ain't even seeing it. And so when I covered up, I ain't never let that happen no more. It was just like, when he gave it to me, it was just like a light shine on me, and I'm going to do all I can, but when I did all I can, that's all I can do. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk about me, go ahead and talk about me, but I don't care. I'm just moving on. Don't let it bother you. Because if Satan knows that something is getting to you, he going to eat you up with it, man. So all you got to remember is Christ got talked about, Christ got ridiculed. You know what I'm saying? The world is against you. It's going to happen. People going to come against you. So if we put that in our spirit to know that it happened to him before it happened to us, we can make it through it. So I just want to put that out there because he has said he learned something from me, and I just want to let him know that I definitely learned something from him, and that helped my walking a lot because I don't let it bother me no more. Because we do so much for the Most High, so it's a whole bunch of people that say, hey, man, Malak, Yahonathan, Travis, and all of them, they cool, but there's a gang of people think that we ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? And we'll do any and everything to bring us down. You know what I'm saying? So we can't go into this with no weak skin. We got to be tough. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no, like, we knew the job was hard when we took it. So get ready for war, y'all. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. So, hey, somebody on that, get Proverbs 13 and 20, somebody.
Proverbs 13 and 20?
Yep.
I got you. Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a compassion of fools shall be destroyed.
So when I see that, I take that as the wisdom. When he say wise, when you walk with people who keep the commandments, you're going to get wise. You're going to get wiser because you're going to start keeping those commandments. You're going to start walking in that way. You walk with them fools that we used to hang out with that be like, hey, man, let's steal this car. You might say no the first time, the second time, but that third time, you're going to be in that car joyriding. So you want to walk with people who say, hey, man, let's do some studies. Hey, man, come over. We're going to do a prayer. We're going to fast. We're going to do this. See, you want to walk with the wise so that you become wise. And that wisdom, what is wisdom? I think Travis gets that all the time. Ain't wisdom knowing the commandments of the Most High? You know what I'm saying? So, 1 and 7. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So the only way to become wise is to know the commandments. And not just know them, do them. So you see how we learn from each other? Because when we watch each other, we grow. We grow from each other. We learn a lot from each other, man, because I might be weak in something, and the Most High has shown me that walking with another brother, I see that he's strong in it, and I'm learning from him. And he didn't even know I was watching, because he used to do that all the time, man. Like, dudes would call him, and I'd be like, man, why are you still talking to that dude? He don't get it. But he'll steady keep talking to him, And I'm like, dude, this dude right here, I used to be saying, man, he crazy. But I learned that you can't just talk to somebody one time. You see what I'm saying? He was making me stronger with my walk. I learned that you got to keep talking. You got to keep talking. You got to keep talking. And then I've seen these dudes that he was continuously talking to come around. They start coming around. Dudes getting baptized. They was walking. And I'm like, dang. So you do got to keep talking. Because I was ready to cut them off. They be like, I don't get it. All right, homie, I'll see you later. So, we got to be around people who, like your friends, man. Let your friends be people who walk with the Most High. Let your friends be people who love the Most High. If they don't love the Most High, homie, they don't love you. They not going to love you. They don't even know how to treat you. So if you have a friend and he say he don't love the Most High, man, you need to start thinking about that friendship. And really, it is a friendship. And I mean, I know we all got friends that's in the world still. So them are the people that we bringing in. But I'm just saying, your real friends are the people who know the Most High. And we saw that when Yeshua was on the cross and he looked down at the people who were standing there. And he said, this is your mother, this is your father, this is your brother. He was saying, these are your friends. These are the people who follow me. These are your friends. That's your family.
Yeah. And I just want to add this. If just because when you have a friend, don't think that y'all not gonna get into it. Don't think that y'all not gonna argue. Don't think that y'all not gonna get into almost having a fight. Because
that's experience speaking right
all
there.
That.
Yeah, me and Malak, man, we close. We real close, man, but we've been through all that. I'm talking about with our fists in the air, yelling at each other, but that's friendship. You learn to love people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what makes it strong, because your friendship gotta get tested to see how strong it is. You know what I'm saying? So these things are gonna happen, so I just wanted to bring that out. You're gonna get mad at your friends sometimes. You're gonna get mad, you want to fight, you're going to let her scream, y'all going to have disagreements. This is what friendship is, but we got to learn how to fix it. And that's what Brother Travis was going through today, showing you how you fix it instead of letting Satan get in the middle and destroy it. You know what I'm saying? The Most High said, he said, when you get angry, don't let the sun go down before you talk to your brother. Because it's going to fester and it's going to build and it's going to take you to a place you don't want to be. And then you probably be like Saul trying to kill your brother. You know what I'm saying? He threw 2 javelins at you. You know what I mean? So you don't want to get to that point because, you know, after you wake up the next day, boy, you be super mad then. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you done dreamed about it all night.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's normal to have arguments with your friends and your family, but, you know, just be willing to fix it. That's what I want to tell everybody. We only got 4 more minutes, so if you want to come in and say something real quick, please do. If not, I just want to tell y'all, Shabbat Shalom. You know, I really enjoy doing the work of the Most High and you guys being a part of doing the work with me. We got a lot of work to do, family. I would like to encourage everybody, you know, to invite a person to come listen to the show, you know, a new person. If everybody brings a new person that we have on here, we can do a lesson about how to wake people up. And, you know, and we can wake up a whole lot of people in one day. Y'all want to do that? I think that would be a great idea to invite all the people. And we'll start all the way from the beginning to try to wake our people up. So that's the task. This Tuesday, try to invite somebody new on the show. It's not one person. Try to invite at least 3 or 4 or 5 people on the show, and have them call in. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start from the beginning and try to wake our people up. And so this would be a way, because what it is a lot of times we try to wake our people up, but they can't hear us because they knew who you were before you was a Hebrew. And they're like, man, I ain't trying to hear you. You smoke weed. You doing this. So, you know, let somebody else do it. Let them hear it from somebody else. Put your mama on. Put your daddy on. Your sisters and your brothers on. And even your best friends that don't want to hear the truth, bring them on the show this Tuesday. And we're going to start from the beginning. Y'all down with that, Sam?
I'm with it, man.
Okay. All right, well, we only got 2 more minutes, so I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to bring everybody in so we can say Shalom together.
Shabbat
so y'all coming in as
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom Barak Betova.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, what's up?
What's up,
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat shalom, fam.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Mom.
Hey, Yahonathan.
Hey, Mom. I know I heard your voice in there. I said, that's Mom. You stayed up tonight, huh?
Yes, I did.
That's right. What time is it over there?
2 minutes to 1.
That's right. You stayed up to hear the show.
Yes, I did.
That's good. It's good to hear your voice.
And I'll be on